Welcome. Here we're going to start trig ratios. This is the below proficient level. And they've asked us that given the following triangle and this thing right here is called theta, and it's a Greek letter, and it's used just like a variable, like x or y. This is a variable that's often used to show angle measure. And so this theta over here is how, what is this angle measure? Usually degrees. Later on in your math career, you'll talk about other ways of measuring that, but for right now, that's typically in degrees. And it says to label the hypotenuse, the opposite side, and the adjacent side. So here we would go the longest side. Now I'm going to go ahead and write this out here. The hypotenuse is always the longest side of a right triangle. And it's also opposite the right angle. And this thing that shows that this is a 90-degree angle also is kind of like, if you just think about those two lines, it's kind of like an arrow. It's kind of pointing in that direction. And this always points to the hypotenuse. So this over here is the hypotenuse. As we move forward, it's fine for you to just label this as H for hypotenuse. And then the opposite side, the opposite side, the opposite leg, as it talks about here, the opposite side or the opposite leg, the adjacent side or the adjacent leg, is the one that, the opposite, if you draw an arrow out from the angle that we're talking about, looking at, it points to the opposite side or the opposite leg. Again, you might just see that as O to kind of help us to figure that out afterwards. And then the word adjacent, spelled like this, adjacent means next to. So like, let's just pretend here for a second, like if I was, this is a street that goes through my neighborhood, and this is my house, and so this is where me lives, and this is my neighbor. We could say this is my adjacent neighbor, the house that is adjacent to mine. My adjacent neighbor. Adjacent is next to. And if there was a house here over across the street, we would say that one is the opposite. It's the opposite side of the street, is over there. And so adjacent is next to. If we go over here, that means that because this angle right here, this side here is adjacent, it's right next to it. You might think there's two sides that are adjacent, and that's not wrong, except that this side is the hypotenuse. And so this one down here, that I've just put in green there, is the adjacent side or the adjacent leg. And once again, we might just put that as A. Be neat, you could easily confuse that A for an H or vice versa if you're not neat in your handwriting. So be careful, write that carefully. And there you have it. Ahora, en español, dice, dado el siguiente triángulo y el ángulo θ es una letra griega, in English, in inglés, given the following triangle and theta, label the hypotenuse. Label es pon etiqueta en la hipotenusa, en el lado opuesto, opposite side, and adjacent side, y el lado adyacente. Ahora, explicamos. La hipotenusa siempre es el lado más largo, the longest side. Opposite the right angle es el lado opuesto del ángulo recto. Este es el ángulo recto aquí. Y si dibujas una flecha desde ese ángulo, el ángulo recto, siempre señala la hipotenusa. Entonces, si dibujas una flecha desde el ángulo que estamos viendo, señala el lado opuesto. Y ese puede cambiar. Digamos que déjeme tachar ese y poner Z ahí. Ahora, estos cambian. Porque ahí, si dibujas la flecha, esa ahora es el lado opuesto. En español, opuesto, en inglés, opposite. Y esto sería el adyacente, adjacent. Pero seguimos a lo que teníamos. Esto, entonces, es el opposite. Opposite en inglés, opuesto en español. Y el lado, la palabra adjacent, que en español es creo que con Y, adyacente, significa next to en inglés, next to, y es al costado. Al costado de. Entonces, este lado aquí, adyacente al ángulo, este es el ángulo y ese es el lado adyacente. Se puede entender de que la hipotenusa es adyacente a ese ángulo también, pero ya lo tenemos etiquetado con la hipotenusa. Es la hipotenusa y el lado adyacente. Esto entonces es adjacent. Y es bastante común que ponemos simplemente las iniciales. Eso es A, y esto es O, y eso es H, por hipotenusa. También en español en español es hipotenusa, se escribe con esa H silenciosa al final, al principio, la hipotenusa o hypotenuse en inglés. Entonces, bueno, eso es.